Welcome back to another episode of the Iced Coffee Hour, and today we got a really interesting episode because we're going to be doing a few things. One, I got a gift for you, Jack.
Oh.
It's something we have to talk about. It's a bit of an issue, but I did get you something.
An issue?
Yeah. Two, we have to talk about the Macy proposal because we never followed up with it. We talked about it before. We never talked about that exact day. And lastly, we have to finish off with responding to some of the hate comments. We had somebody screenshot a whole bunch of them. We have no idea what they say, but I see every now and then we get a few nasty ones.
They've been brutal.
They've been really bad. So we're going to be reacting to them. So first, Jack, let's talk about this. You desperately need a haircut. It's really bad.
You really sound like my mom.
No, but it's true.
From your guys' perspective, it may be true, but I'm not trying to appeal to you guys, okay? Now, I'm trying to appeal to like 23-year-old women, and I think that this haircut is a hit.
By the way, speaking of appealing to 23-year-old women, on the last podcast, did you see the highly voted comment of some girl who wanted to take Jack on a date?
Wait, really?
Yeah, no, pull it up.
Highly voted comment.
Yeah.
What? On the
last
top one?
comment. The top comment, and it got like 300 upvotes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, read it.
Kayla Rose. Oh, I liked it. I'm 22, started my own business, barely finished college. Where can I sign up to go on a date with Jack? Let's film the first date, too.
See?
Come on. Really?
So anyway, yeah, I don't want to get too off topic. So we got that, but Jack needs a haircut. Agreed. Kayla will probably agree with me.
I think it's charming. It makes me stand out. I'm very unique, with this haircut. And I think it's a net positive. Although, yes, you could argue I do look like a slob, I look like I'm unkempt, but
Unkempt.
I can reassure you I am kempt. And I think it's a unique look.
You got the trucker hat on, and it looks like a mullet. So now you're a trucker hat mullet guy. Look at you.
Trucker hat mullet, man.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty
He
cool.
said mullet guy.
Oh. Yeah. Well, a trucker hat mullet guy is pretty cool too, I think. So, and mullets are actually making a comeback. So you guys, your hairstyles actually might be out.
Jack, I got you a little something. Okay?
Oh, thank you.
Because you refuse to get a haircut, we have to make some improvements.
Trimmers. What,
so,
scissors?
yeah, well.
What is it?
It's a hat.
Oh my God. I love this. Holy cow. Okay, it says the man, the myth, the legend. I think this is perfect for me. This is amazing.
Yeah,
You know
it's a
what's
trucker
funny?
hat, yeah.
He knows you like trucker hats.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
because
I gotta flex that.
you used to wear these like, oh my God.
I actually like it though. That's the thing, and it fits.
I think
that
because of
looks
this
good.
hat, I need to grow up my mullet longer. It only makes sense.
What was interesting is that you used to wear like a baseball cap.
Yeah.
This orange baseball cap all the time.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you get this trucker hat out of nowhere. And Graham and I noticed ever since you got that hat, that's the only hat that you wear.
Why is a trucker hat such big talk, man? It's a good hat. I like the hat. I made it at my cousin's bar mitzvah. To tell you the truth, that's what I did. And I just like the hat. I think it looks nice.
You know what?
Good.
That hat reminds me of Roman Atwood. Did you guys see he recently started a podcast?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, and I watched
listened to it. The
I
Fousey
like
one?
it. Yeah,
I listened. I love
They
the
could clean up
Fousey
their
one.
angles a little bit.
So there's more competition out there. I've noticed that everybody is getting into podcasting lately. And, I don't want to say we were early, but
Honestly, we were kind of late.
We were
yeah, we were late.
Yeah, we
but
were
now,
late, but
but
people
now in
now
retrospect,
joining.
it's like those things where when everybody's like, well, if I had just started YouTube then, and then like it keeps growing. So I think it started at a good time. But now everybody's starting a podcast.
And what I said last episode with Daniel Mack turned out to be very true. I said people listen to us when they're driving or when they're at the gym. And we got so many comments of people saying exactly what they were doing while they were listening to the podcast. And like probably 40% of them were gym and then like 45 were driving.
Yeah.
So it's true. It holds true. So if you're at the gym or you're driving, what's up?
comment down below.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of podcasts. I think because it's sustainable in a way that you can't just keep making these like over the top videos all the time. And for a podcast, it's sitting and just having a conversation, and I think more people are catching on to that.
It's also very genuine. I mean, we shared that you were engaged on here before you mentioned anything like anywhere else. Like,
Yeah, my parents even found out from the podcast.
You're joking.
I'm kidding.
Oh my gosh, that
Joking.
sounded like something Graham would say.
When did you tell your
kidding.
parents? Because I remember when we
kidding.
spoke about it on the podcast for the first time, you said you had not told them yet.
Yeah, it was a few days before.
A few days before.
Is it? Yeah, about a few days. 5 days before. Well, people
Okay.
commented that Jack was upset that I didn't propose to Jack.
I saw that, and watching that clip back with that comment, it looks like you were like too excited that he was proposing to you, and then that you were sad that it wasn't true.
I just thought it was a big deal, to be honest. I thought it was a really big deal, and I was shocked because I knew that you were planning on doing it this year, but I feel like it came by so quickly.
Yeah, it did.
So,
Time flies.
For those that want to know, the proposal went very smoothly. Graham did a great job. Macy said yes. So,
And we couldn't see a single thing from the ground.
No.
So
Yeah.
we were all talking in the last podcast. Alex had mentioned you got to get a picture of it so that way, like, you get the moment. And I thought, great idea. So I told Alex and Jack they could go down to the Santa Monica Pier, get out the telephoto lens, and like try to get us at the top of the Ferris wheel. And so I tried so hard to make sure that we were like, I tell you exactly which cart we're in. We were
And
cart
we got
20.
you. Yeah, we got you.
Yeah.
We knew which cart you were in. We were like, we had this super long lens, so we were able to see. But the problem was that the way that the angle was, like, it was like, initially when you and Macy were like sitting across from each other, we could see you guys. But then Macy did the unexpected, guys. She went over to Graham's side. Oh, no. And then we lost sight of everything. And then Jack and I rushed over to go meet Graham at the bottom of the Ferris wheel after, because we're like, oh, we'll take some pictures like by the arcade, you know. We're at this little fair at the pier. And Graham just texts me, yeah, we're heading to the restaurant. And
We
he's
didn't
like,
see you.
I cannot believe you left without
We
us,
didn't
by the way.
I thought you were going to wait for us because you knew Jack
restaurant's
and I were
walking
we
distance,
were
yeah.
a little bit further out on the pier, and we were trying to get some beautiful photos and videos for our lovely future groom, Graham. And you came off the Ferris wheel and immediately left. You booked it to the restaurant.
You shared your GPS location
Yeah, I
with
did,
me.
yeah.
You were like halfway up the pier, like right after you got off. I was like,
we hung out afterwards.
Run
We were
over and celebrate.
We hung out afterwards. We were at the bottom for a little bit, maybe a few minutes, and like I looked around, didn't see you guys,
few
and
seconds.
I didn't know if it would ruin the surprise if you guys like show up because we were meeting your family
we
afterwards.
were gonna see you guys. Like,
I know, but she was seeing her family, so maybe she's like, oh.
Also,
maybe
I think
more.
you guys ran a little late, so maybe her family
Yeah.
was also
Yeah,
waiting.
that's a good point.
I assume that you
Yeah.
had to get up there. But so walk us through now that you've done it.
Yeah.
How did it feel that day? How did it feel, going through it? Were you nervous?
I was nervous leading up to it. I honestly thought there's nothing to be nervous about. I was like, why? Why would it be nervous? I knew the answer was going to be a yes. I knew she'd be very excited, and I knew it was coming. So I didn't have those nerves, except the day of, just because I was only nervous because I didn't want anything to go wrong. So I was really scared that, like, what if we go down to the pier and the Ferris wheel isn't going, or like it's out of order? Then what do I do? What if we go down the pier and like we run into you guys? Then it's going to be obvious. Or as we were walking down to the pier, her parents were at the restaurant and it was across the street. So I was like diverting her attention, be like, look at the ocean over there. Look at this building. What do you think this is? So I was like, I guess I'm so afraid she'd look over and like see her family. She'd go, what are they doing there? So all the things that could go wrong, that's what I was nervous about. But it was good. And then on the Ferris wheel, I wanted it to stop at the top, and it kept going around, and we weren't stopping at the top. I'm like, what if this is the one time it doesn't stop at the top, and like we have to go on again? Like, would that be too obvious? So I didn't get the very top, but I got like the notch to the top, and it was good.
Did you cry?
No.
Did she
God,
cry?
no.
She teared.
Yeah.
She did a few
teared
tears. Yeah.
I was gonna say I forgot to ask.
Yeah. She
her
did a
at the-
thumbnail face,
but in real life.
but in real life, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I gotta say, man, we're happy for you. I can't believe it, and I think everybody also is wondering, do you know when the wedding's gonna be?
It's going to be a ways off just because we're both busy. We don't have to think about it like right now, but yeah.
Big wedding, small wedding, expensive wedding.
Oh gosh.
Paying for your friends to come out there type wedding?
I'm not a big wedding person. So like I would if to me, I mean just like a few people, but I don't know. It's up to her. I'll let her make the decision on that.
Well, Kelsey went to go look at wedding dresses today.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I told her not to get too excited.
Why, the cost?
Yeah, I don't want. She told me how much one cost
How
that she
much?
was looking. She told me, we'd rather not say yet. That's what she told me.
So how much do you think is appropriate to spend on the wedding dress?
Max, this is like you find a dress that you absolutely love, you have to have it, $1,000 max.
Okay.
How much do they usually cost?
I don't know. Like there's boutique stores, but there's also like online. You can also actually rent wedding dresses because the thing is, a lot of people will spend thousands of dollars on this dress and then keep it in their closet for who knows how long. And yeah, it's cool if you want to have it, but sometimes you can rent like a really expensive dress for like a couple $100 and you don't have something sitting in your closet.
What if you made the wedding dress? Boom, YouTube video. Boom, it's also sentimental. Boom, it's also cheap.
You could do
one,
that. It's your time. Yeah.
It's the time. You know how much time that would take? Like I don't sew day to day, so I'm not
Alex,
as
you
fast.
could just get a bed sheet, some confetti,
Go buy some potatoes,
Some
and then
toilet
remove
paper.
them from the sack.
potato sack.
toilet paper wedding dress, but just don't get it wet.
That's viral content right there.
Yeah, right. Well,
Yeah.
how much do you guys think is appropriate to spend on a wedding dress?
I have
really
no
thought
frame of
about it.
reference. Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, like I said, I think that's like the tippy top. But I know she told me that there were wedding dresses there that I think the range at that particular store was between like $1,500 and $8,000.
So-
$8,000. Wow.
The bottom of the range was already too expensive.
well, there's
the cheapest one there is
well,
over
there's
budget.
a clearance,
Oh, yeah.
and then you can
the returned items.
haggle.
Now,
a
what
little
about
bit.
pre-owned?
Yeah, pre-owned.
I'm okay with that. Actually, I think that's a great way, like, to get a wedding dress.
Yeah.
What if you resold it? You just got a super nice one, wore it for the wedding, returned it. Like, how about
But
that?
at that point, you're better off. Well, no, you're better
can't
off
return
renting
it,
it,
yeah.
Jack. That's the ethical thing to
Yeah,
do.
you should rent it.
Yeah, Jack. I've never worn something from a store and then returned it. Have
Neither
you done that?
No, God, no.
You.
Probably.
You know what? At least you're honest about it. What do you think it was?
Jackets. So H&M had a very liberal
Oh,
return
it's
policy.
H&M too?
Yeah.
You could have bought it.
So it's not
No.
probably, it's definitely.
No, so sometimes what I do is
he knows he stole the
still
store.
to this day, I still never take the tags off clothing. So on a lot of my jackets, I still have the tag in there. And so sometimes I'll wear the jacket out and then never wear it again. After a month, I'm like, I've yet to wear this thing again. I'm not going to wear it again. I return it.
But even now, it's like if you drive to H&M, that whole ordeal is going to take an hour for what, $70?
No, this is years ago. I haven't done this in a long time.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, none of this is recent.
Long time.
Yeah, I have Alex return it. No. Alex shows up. This jacket doesn't fit me. It's the wrong size.
My mom bought this for me as a Christmas present, and I think she miscalculated my size.
The jacket's all of his clothes for free, so it's not going to matter.
That is,
True.
I'm not going to say that's entirely true, but that's mostly true.
Okay.
Yes. They're all hand-me-downs. So,
Where do you get your clothes from?
Yeah.
do you guys want to know the truth?
Yeah.
Is it your mom?
Yeah. My mom gets me most of my clothes, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. She got me this shirt. These shorts right. Actually, these shorts I got.
I feel like your mom's like a 90s skater
my mom
kid.
too. My mom was a 90s
Yeah.
skater kid? No, my mom
Yeah,
was born in
just-
64.
Just by like the ZJ's boarding house, sort of like, the surf attire and
Really?
like,
No, that's a SoCal
the trucker
thing.
hat.
I,
and
whatever.
I gotta say, guys, I usually don't share this stuff willingly, but in this case, I think it's kind of funny. It makes for a good story. But I went on a date probably like 5 days ago.
Nice. You didn't tell
went
me
on
about
a
this.
date?
Yeah, so we went to Dave & Buster's, and I showed up, and I thought I looked really good. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I thought my outfit was nice. I thought she was gonna be like really pleased with it. After Dave & Buster's, we went back to my house to go in the hot tub, and I was like going in my room or whatever to like pick out like board shorts for the hot tub, and she followed me into the closet, and she saw that I had very few clothes. And then she said, just out of nowhere, I didn't like instigate it. She just said, that explains it. And I was like, what are you talking
No
about?
way.
Yeah, what are you talking about? And she
This
said,
first date?
yes.
Okay.
And she said, oh, I just, I noticed like the clothes you were wearing at Dave & Buster's. And I was like, what are you trying to say? And she's like, oh, it's just, like questionable style. Can you believe it?
I could believe it, Jack.
Well, what were you wearing?
Yeah.
I was wearing a navy shirt, some navy pants.
No, what, a shirt, what, t-shirt?
Yeah, t-shirt, yeah.
Okay.
Navy t-shirt. It's got like a little design right here.
Okay.
Navy pants and then brown shoes.
No. I bet the pants were probably a bit baggy.
I like the brown shoes with the navy pants. I'm a fan I'm a fan of the brown and navy like suit combination, but I think the navy shirt overdoes it.
Do you wear the hat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And okay, so that's actually a good point. She said, the main thing she said, I don't know why you wore a hat. So.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, if you cut your hair,
Yeah.
I'm not even joking, you would probably look 10 times
The
better.
thing is, people assume that you're balding because you wear the hat so often.
But
No,
look
I
at
know,
you.
so you may as
got
well
a
show
full
it
head of hair,
off.
man. Sometimes I think you have to take certain things that we know we're not good at and just accept the fact we're not good at them and let other people help us. For you, I would venture to say it's style.
Yeah, I think so.
For me as well, But, you know.
Wow.
But Alex could get away with the pineapples on his shirt.
Listen, man, I'm married.
Why can he get away? Is the bar just lower for Alex?
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Literally, it's not that crazy.
This is Alex's style.
But
And
this
it
is
works.
my-
But it works. It works as like a funny, sort of like whimsical t-shirt. By the way, I wanted to ask, how's the weight loss coming? Could you
Good.
explain what's going on?
Oh, did
Jack?
we talk about
We
this?
haven't spoke about this
No.
yet. No.
You want to say what's going on?
Sure. So I happen to notice that Alex may struggle with his weight a little bit. So
You happen to notice? What is that supposed to mean?
All right, you explain it.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know
I'm
how to
just kidding.
explain
I'm
this.
just kidding. Go ahead.
I figured out I would like to help a friend, and I think it could also be an inspiring story since we've discussed it on the podcast a few times. And for Alex, it's not only it's like also a mental thing as well.
Yeah.
And I think that overcoming that mental barrier as well as being a healthier individual, I think could be a really good piece of content and also something that I would love to do for my friend on a personal level.
Yeah.
So what we decided to do was try to get Alex to lose some weight. And we are on what? Just over 2 weeks now?
I think so. Yeah.
We're just over 2 weeks.
Are we? Yeah. Just almost 2 weeks, I think. Oh,
Yeah.
I think on Wednesday.
Yeah.
On Wednesday's 2 weeks.
I'm taking a lot of advice from tons of people that know a lot about nutrition and dieting and exercising and stuff like that. The main thing that we're just trying to focus on is eating just good, healthy, hearty foods. And that's pretty much it. And no snacking.
Yeah. So every day, Jack texts me like close to lunchtime, and he's just like, "Hey, what are you having to eat?" And so every time I make food, I just I take a picture and I send it over to Jack. Or if I am in a rush, I'll just tell Jack, "Hey, I had this for lunch," and I do that for like my lunch and my dinner, and we also do weigh-ins. And I go grocery shopping with Jack, and so far so good. So Jack, I lost how much so far?
You lost 6.6 pounds in 11 days. Now, granted, I know that may sound unhealthy, the speed at which you lost weight, but then again, once you start dieting and cutting down on the fatty foods and the snacking foods, you have less sodium in your body, which soaks up less water. So a lot of that was water weight. And I would say probably, let's say, 2 pounds or so, maybe 3 pounds of fat.
And we're also trying to find like that sweet spot. So we dialed it up a little bit on the calories a little bit. So, but so far so good. The first week was pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was a huge change, right?
Yeah.
And we talk about this we talk about this off the podcast a lot more, just because you guys are my friends. And so sometimes you guys may not hear like the entirety of the conversations. I told Jack I've never had anybody try to like hold me like accountable. And it's been a very different experience. And one thing Graham told me, he's like, takes 21 days to build a habit. And it's getting easier every day.
That's good. I mean, you're doing great
and
so
I'm
far.
eating great food.
Good.
Yeah.
You can throw some pictures of the food I've been making.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like, really lean. Sometimes it's a little bit like comfort meals, but it's not like crazy, It's very different than what I was eating, right? Because I think most of the calories that I was intaking were from snacking. And so we kind of changed.
That's
now,
good.
if I'm really hungry, I'll grab like a pinch of grapes or something like that.
Now, what about exercise?
So I'm looking to introduce more exercise as well. So I think I had this conversation. I'm not sure if both of you, but I had lost weight in the past. And one of the good exercises that I found for myself was swimming, just because it's very low impact, but it's very high cardio. And so I think I'm probably going to start doing that. I'm going to say probably start with 2 times a week, probably next week or this week.
Why not this week?
I could do that too.
The main idea that I had in mind when you with your plan of losing weight was I didn't want to introduce too many things right in the beginning because I didn't want you to hate it. So as long as like you're eating clean, you're going to lose weight pretty dang fast. At your current weight. And that was the plan until you got to maybe you lost like 40 50 pounds, and then we could introduce exercising and stuff like that once you got used to that and built up that habit of eating clean, no more unhealthy snacking and stuff like that.
Well, I could start as like resistance walking to the pool.
Yeah.
I mean that, and then you build up. And like I remember when I first ever swam, I couldn't even swim a lap like at all. And it took me several weeks to be able to do it. I don't know if I can now because it's been 2.5 years since I swam.
Yeah.
So
But
I agree.
I gotta say, I'm honestly really impressed, and I definitely, this probably doesn't help my case at all, but I definitely had some like prejudgments about like when I first wanted to diet you, I thought that because the first thing I did was I went over to his house and we went through his entire pantry and I removed all of the unhealthy food. And I thought that when I was doing that, you'd be like, no, I want that. No, I want that. No, I want that still. But you're very open to it and you're optimistic, which is one of my favorite parts. You're not complaining all the time. You're not saying, oh, I wish that I had more sweets or I wish I didn't have to do this. You're super like proactive about it. I don't have to constantly be checking on you. You're pretty like self-sufficient on it.
It's the texting me, like holding me accountable. Like when you text me in the morning, it like reaffirms like, oh, today I'm going to be accountable. Yeah. And I told Jack the other day, I was like, Jack, I really want some pizza. And like, so we went out to that event and I ate some like food that was off my thing. So I'm going to wait before I have pizza. Cool. But like, yeah, Jack and I have had burgers together. If we go to an event, we eat out and it's just like we kind of account for it. And it's like
there's nothing wrong with eating unhealthy food every once in a while.
Yep.
The only thing is the snacking, and if you do that like all of the time.
Like every day.
Yeah, like I want to teach
I used to snack every day. Yeah.
Like, and the thing is, when you snacked, the issue is you would eat really calorie dense things, such as a bag of potato chips, like a big bag, and you'd eat like probably 2,000 calories in one sitting.
And not even know it, yeah.
But now it's like, you know, you're very like structured with your diet. And I think the best way to introduce like a healthy eating habit is to introduce like normal eating habits. Where like, sure, if you go to an event, you have some pizza, or if you want pizza, you can order pizza.
And I think that's the important part for me too, because I told Jack I could never be like you. Like you eat so clean. Like I don't think that could ever be me. But you have to remember, like to get to the weight that I am, I've probably been eating like unhealthy, like to what a normal person would consider extremely unhealthy for so long. I think that going back to like a diet of like normalcy and having moderation with foods that are higher in calories is good. And that's probably like the life that I would want to live. But who knows? You never know, because maybe I'll see some gains and I'll be like, this is the way. But my mindset is that right now. So we'll see. I'm just very open to everything, and I really appreciate you, helping me. So far, so good. And Graham's been supportive too, just like emotionally on the side. So
that's good. Yeah, you're killing it. So, I honestly, to be completely fair and honest, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I figure anything that we do where it means that you eat cleaner foods, you eat healthier foods, is just a step in the right direction.
Just for liability reasons, I have nothing to do with this, guys. I just for the record, right? You agree, Jack? Like this is nothing to do. This is
I
outside.
thought you were texting me advice. Like the other day, you were like, "This is advice."
This is health advice directly from Graham Stephan.
No, Graham's just there as a friend to be supportive.
Yeah, this is between
Jack,
you guys,
it's all
so I want
Jack,
no
Jack,
liability.
Jack definitely tells me what to do. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see about that. But you've been doing great, and we're going to be continuing to document this entire journey. It'll be exciting.
And you know what's cool? Jack sent me this earlier that, who was it? Mike Malak and Jeff from Jeff's Barbershop mentioned me in the podcast this morning.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, I made a video on Mike Malak buying a property with an NFT on the second channel of the Graham Stephan Show. Go and subscribe to that. But I made a video talking about that, and Mike and Jeff watched the video. And sometimes for me, I forget like how many people see these videos. And so I think sometimes if I'm just joking around or making lighthearted humor, I forget sometimes that there's like a real person behind there who could be taking these literally or could be taking it the wrong way. And
did they take it the wrong way?
I think Mike saw parts of the video that could have potentially been hurtful. And not in like a malicious way necessarily, but maybe in not the nicest of ways. And usually on that channel, I try my best. I'm sarcastic, and it's all not all satire, but no, I didn't say anything. But I said, I made jokes that were probably at Mike's expense. Like I said, it's the peak of the market, but it goes to show you there's always going to be a Mike who's buying. Because he's buying. I mean, it was just like, it was meant in a lighthearted way, not to be taken too seriously. But I think lose track when you're like behind a computer screen looking at the numbers that like, that is a person you're talking about. And I have nothing against Mike or anything. And a lot of it is just meant purely for comedy. But I think comedy at the expense of someone else, I'm realizing that. The more I've been doing
mark on this one?
I don't think so. And he overall said that the video was it wasn't a bad video, and a lot of it was accurate, but also that I didn't know the entire situation, and I even said that in the video. I tried to estimate what his income was based on how much he put down, and he explained that he put down more because it gave him a lower interest rate, which is true. So I had to stretch and make some assumptions, just just for the purposes of the video and supplying information. So I definitely went out on a limb there. But the thing is, he could be making $5 million a year. And it makes no difference whatsoever if he buys a property for 4, if it's worth 3 next year, if it's worth 5. It doesn't matter. And I think at those income levels, it's like you're talking over the equivalent of like what a normal person would be, like a few $100s. So like for him, it doesn't make a difference.
So how much do you think Mike is making?
In the video.
Because I will say, before you say the number, Graham has given us estimates of a lot of people before we've met them.
Yeah. And
then people confirm, and they're pretty damn close.
Yeah.
I will say you have a pretty good idea. I'm not saying it's accurate.
No. Adam 22 was the biggest shock for me. I didn't know he was making that much.
Yeah.
And Adam came in under 4th. But Mike Malak, I said that for him to afford his mortgage, he had to be netting after expenses $720,000 a year. That's the bare minimum. So I kind of assumed that if he had to put more money down, he was hitting that limit, which meant that he was making way more money. But since he's his own boss, he's probably deducting a lot of expenses. So I said he's probably making about 1.2, so $100,000 a month. Plus he's got expenses, so he's netting, $720,000 to $800,000 a year. He didn't confirm or deny that amount, nor would I expect him to be like, no, so here's how much I make. But I would say, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he's making $5 million a year, but I would say at minimum, it's got to be the 720 at minimum. Like, that's what he would have to do to qualify for that.
Yeah, because there may be other deals that are behind the scenes that we have no clue on.
Probably.
Yeah. Sometimes when you're in that circle of people, you get opportunities presented to you that, it's not worth making a whole video on, but you're invested in other things.
Yeah. So anyway, but sometimes I see those videos and I feel bad just because it's like, I never want to make anyone feel bad. And my intention is never to put anyone down. So, and sometimes you do get caught up in that moment of just like, it's funny, it's for comedy, but then you forget it's like, well, that is a person on the other end who's seeing this. And I've definitely gotten a lot more careful of what I said on that channel. I reacted to ads before, and that was like an old fun thing as I'd react to the ads. And at the end, like, I just felt bad afterwards. Because some of the stuff, like, I'm poking fun at it, but like, that's their business. And whether or not I agree with it, not all malicious, but, some of it's a little sketchy, but
I will say I like that video.
People do, but I just feel bad about it, even though people like it. So anyway, what do you think, Jack?
I think, with the Graham Stephan Show, you assume responsibility when you say certain things about other people. And I know just with like media in general, it's easier to throw accusations and to like point fingers, especially considering the fact that usually the creator is never like held to a certain standard when they probably should be. You know what I mean? Creators get let off for saying some bad things about other people. I think as a general rule, you specifically, you're pretty fair, but I also think that with the responsibility of having that channel, that's definitely something that you should consider. And knowing you, I don't think that you ever really crossed that line, but it seems like you have a pretty good perspective on it. I wouldn't be too worried about it.
Yeah, I think it's about getting close to that line, but never crossing it. Because I never want to be in a position where I say something truly negative about someone, where if they saw me somewhere, they would be upset. And I would expect that all of it would be kind of lighthearted, but I did see that and I felt bad.
So if Mike is watching this, what do you have to say?
None of it was meant to be like too serious. A lot of it's just lighthearted humor. But if anything I said was taken the wrong way, I apologize for it, because it's never my intention to make anyone feel bad. And I do make stretches and assumptions in that video just for the purposes of filling in some of the numbers. But definitely, I didn't get all of it right, I'm sure. So if there's anything that I could correct, I'm always open to that.
Have you DM'd Mike before? Have you guys spoke?
Yeah. So I met him in 2020, actually with you briefly, when we picked up the Pokemon card.
Yeah.
The Pokemon card. Logan Paul box break. So I met him briefly. And then after that, he had mentioned me in one of the Impulsive podcasts as like the finance guy or something like that. And so I sent him a message saying, thank you for the kind words. If you would ever like to do a collab, or like, I'd love to have you on my channel, just anything like that, I'm open. Now, it never showed red or anything like that, so I don't know if he got it, but I did send him a message.
Mike Malak, next podcast, guys. Let's go.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah,
I
Mike,
would
if you're listening,
absolutely love that.
Come on, dude.
Yeah.
We would love that.
Yeah, if anyone knows Mike Malak and you want to shoot him a text and be like, hey, if you're in Las Vegas, Graham Stephan would love to host you. Do whatever.
Jack's
we'll take you out for dinner.
Airbnb room that
Jack's got an Airbnb.
We'll comp you for it.
Yeah, we take you out for steak at Herbs and Rye, like a nice steak place. make you feel welcome. So how about this? We got hate comments.
Yes, we have some hate
my
comments we have to
gosh.
get back to.
All right.
Now, depending on the tone of these hate comments, I'm going to try to take them to heart
Let's
and
see.
see, if these are really good criticisms that, is something that we can work on.
So the first hate comment, and again, guys, we did not pick these. We had somebody else pick these, so we have never seen these before.
Correct.
I really ain't trying to see a morbidly obese guy to struggle to ask the most basic questions. Jack, I don't know why they hate you so much.
Dude,
Why
I don't
did
know
you
they
write
hate
that,
me
Jack?
either. I'm sorry. Gosh.
No, so I think they're talking about me. Well, I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, I try to ask questions that I feel like the audience would like to know, and that's why I bring up stuff like when Graham was talking about the ring, I was like, that's a pretty small ring for a millionaire. Not because I think that, but just like I'm trying to think, what would the audience think in my shoes?
Yeah.
And also when introducing podcast guests, I mean, I do the same thing. I try to think like, okay, imagine I'm a new viewer and I've never seen this. I really try to go from that angle. I am obese, but we're trying to work on
I don't
that.
think that's a comment to take to heart. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think he's just trying to be,
the
abrasive.
morbidly obese just seems to be like the poking stick.
Yeah.
The real thing seems to be the basic question.
questions.
But I would agree with the basic question. I mean, you have to. So,
agree.
all right. Jack has been looking sloppy. Get a haircut.
Okay, well, I just glanced over and I saw that it was written by my assistant. So, JJ, we have a serious talk that we have to
okay.
have
Wait, was it
tomorrow morning.
actually?
Yeah.
it was
Oh, that's
JJ.
funny.
All right.
All right. Jack, you don't buy and hold with margin, silly boy.
He's right though.
I mean, he's right.
That's good advice.
It is good advice. Yeah.
What do you got to say?
Yeah, okay, you know what? The silly boy was just,
That was unnecessary. Silly boy.
But, he is right.
All right.
I like how we're so analytical.
Yeah,
We're like, this part was
Yeah,
unnecessary.
we should
Yeah.
take them all seriously to
You're
heart.
right.
What's the
I won't
next
do it
one?
again.
I stopped watching your videos because they are all buy and hold index funds. Yeah, I think beyond a certain point, it does become repetitive. I mean, I'm never going to say anything different. So if you're expecting me one video to say like, hey guys, go all in Tesla and then short this, I'm never going to say that. But you know what? I think long term that'll come out ahead. So I'm going to stick with it.
One thing I'll say is you've been very consistent with your.
I'm not going to deviate from that.
strategies.
Yeah. When you clickbait so much, you have to clarify it when it's not clickbait. Did we have
Did
to
you do like
did
not
we do a not
clickbait?
clickbait?
The
when-
proposed one? Was it?
Margin call.
Oh, margin call.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I mean, I agree. I mean, for sure, I think we stretch the truth on the titles, but the titles do have a direct connection with exactly what we talk about in the video. So it's never like taking completely like just wrong information and putting it in the title, but usually it is what we talk about and then maybe exaggerate it a little bit. We don't exaggerate numbers, but we can exaggerate where we can.
Yeah, I actually thought the not clickbait was catchier. Just as a title, I would be more likely to click on a title that says not clickbait. That from my perspective, it's just like what would people be likely to click on, and
That's
that gets
also
my
a
attention.
strategy. Yeah,
yeah.
for
So
sure.
I wouldn't say yeah.
Graham is 127 pounds. Homeboy is tiny. I haven't been that small since I was like 19. Like, I wish.
Homeboy is tiny.
But he said, "I wish." So he wishes he could be smaller.
Maybe they're
So that could be a
maybe he's
compliment.
got a little heft. Yeah.
Yeah, that could be a compliment. Maybe they'd be like, "I wish I could weigh 127." So I'll take that as a compliment. That could be a nice comment. So.
What do you say to people who say that you're small?
It is what it is. I don't know.
Genetics,
the
man.
sky is blue. I mean, what is there to say?
Hey,
Yeah.
fair enough. I agree. No offense, but Graham is wrong AF on Tesla stock and Elon. You can tell he's an S&P investor mainly, doesn't know much about the individual stocks.
Oh, that's probably when I said the Tesla stock was overvalued. You know what? I think what gets me is the amount of hype and excitement around the stock. And all the potential around it. Like Elon Musk could come up with these robots and self-driving and all these different things. I've yet to see a lot of it come to fruition. And I worry that the hype and excitement has gotten ahead of itself a little bit too much. But I will fully admit I've been wrong in the past. I've been wrong so far about Tesla stock, except when I sold at $1,000 to buy the car. But that's probably luck.
Graham has been trying to justify his lifestyle this entire episode. I've been watching Graham for a very long time, and I like the guy, but I do agree with Jack and Tech Lead. Graham should live a little bit more. I'm not saying he needs to spend any more money or stop YouTube or the podcast, but life experience would really help him grow all these ventures as well as refining his perspective.
I don't disagree with that. I think I need some more perspective. I agree.
What do you mean by perspective?
Seeing more things and being exposed to more, I think would
But I
benefit
think
me.
everybody could benefit
That's
from
true.
it. Yeah.
But I think, me especially,
Graham,
I could
uniquely,
probably.
I think, he sees things with very much tunnel vision.
Yeah, I do.
I
So I could benefit from that. It's interesting to hear how detached from reality Graham is when it comes to how materialistic he actually is. Making money, $2,000 loan from grandma, bruh, that could save someone's life. And how much $250,000 could actually do? Well, technically it is detached from what is like to try and become wealthy outside of school, programmer, doctor, lawyer, etc. Very cool perspectives to hear as a thousandaire. So, I mean, where do we start on this one? Making money, $2,000 loan from grandma. So let me explain
What is that? I don't remember.
So when I was buying property in 2011, 2012, I had basically sunk all my money and I sold my car to finish and buy these properties and renovate them. And there was a point where I had a tenant who was moving into a property and was going to pay me the rent and all that. And I needed to pay the contractor. And this is before I had a credit card or anything like that. And I knew there was a 2-week gap between when I was having rent coming in and when I had to pay the contractor. And my grandma lent me $2,000 so that I could pay the contractor as basically like a bridge in between the time that happened and I got the rent.
But
so
what's the total amount of out of pocket that you were at the time, like invested in this house renovating? Because I'm sure $2,000 was probably a drop in the bucket.
it was like 200 grand, something like that, 250. Yeah, give or take probably 250. I mean, it was everything I had saved up for 4 years. So, I sold the car to pay for the triplex. So yeah, but I also had some real estate deals that were coming in, and sometimes it's like you have to wait a few weeks to get paid on those. So that was the $2,000 from my grandma.
I mean, I get that not everybody's in a position to, borrow $2,000 from your grandma. I certainly wasn't, but I think that there's nothing wrong with using the resources that you have.
Right.
And plus, if your grandma didn't let you borrow $2,000, somebody would have,
Oh,
or you would have paid interest to someone.
Yeah.
It's not a big.
I mean, it would have gotten done regardless, but my first choice would have been to go to my grandma, and I paid her right back.
I feel like Jack is talking himself out of a job with Graham. He's just outsourcing all of his work to other people for cheaper. Why wouldn't Graham just do it himself?
Yeah, why wouldn't I, Jack?
Because that takes a lot of upfront capital.
Oh, okay.
So my question was, why wouldn't Graham just pay you a salary to manage people?
A salary to manage people?
Yeah, like I could just pay you a set amount and you manage.
Because I'm not an employee.
We'll make you an employee.
I'd prefer not to be an employee, I think.
We'll find somebody else to manage the people.
Okay. There's nothing that's stopping you from doing that.
No,
I mean, as far as...
No, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate.
I mean, 85% of my income's from the iced coffee hour. So if we're talking about the 15% on the side of like the second channel, the random stuff here and there, actually it's probably 10% the other stuff. So it's not like it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, my thought is that as long as the work is better or the same, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long
So
as
you're okay if I outsource the main channel?
Well, the main channel is something that even outsourcing to begin with. No, not in the main channel. The main channel I'm so
But
particular
what if it's
about.
better?
If you show me a video, Alex, and we review it, and it is better, and I look at this video and I say, Alex, did you just spend a full day on this thing? How long did this take you to do? How did you do it like this? And it's that good, I'd be open to it.
What if it's the same?
Probably not. It would have to be better. Like when Jack did it, it was better. And I told Jack you could try it once, and it has to be really good. And I didn't even know it was better. And I thought Jack was just spending more time on the videos.
As far as camera angles go, I personally think there should just be one camera/angle. It would be much more podcast-like, in my opinion, just seeing everyone in one shot versus having multiple angles and going back and forth between all of them. Most podcasts out here follow the one camera rule, and that's what I think this podcast needs.
I disagree.
No, you got to switch.
disagree.
Yeah, you got to switch camera angles.
Yeah, I
helps
agree.
retention.
Every big podcast on also has different camera angles. I'd like more of Alex, less of Jack. LOL. What does Jack even do anymore? You know what? I agree with this one.
Do you?
What did you do today, Jack?
What did I do today?
What did you do?
Hung out, went in the pool, drank some Pepsi.
Really?
No, I didn't.
Well, not the Pepsi.
Did I go in the pool? I don't remember if I went in the pool.
What do you say to the people, though, who say less Jack?
I think that's fine. Everyone's going to have their own opinion. And I don't think that there's anything that I can say that would change their mind if they're already in the thought of less Jack. So
There's so many pro Jack people, though, so it's okay.
I really appreciate the people that are pro Jack. I feel like I kind of want to read like a love comment now.
I'm fine.
After reading so many hate comments. Graham kind of killed this to family vlog as soon as he took over, TBH.
The views don't lie, though. mean, the data's there. We got
The data's there. I also happened to change the thumbnail and the vlog name, and I only did it for 30 days, but the views don't lie.
Yeah, no, for 30 days, we tripled views, tripled revenue. Everything went up. Watch time went up. Everything substantially increased for those 30 days.
Watch time went up because the length of the videos went up.
Well, you were
necessarily.
daily posting.
Yeah, but no, it wasn't daily posting. It was 3 times a week.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on. Alex is legit ungrateful, lol. Graham hired him as an employee. Why he acting like he's owed anything?
I think you guys both benefit from this relationship. You do and Graham does. And you guys are both very fortunate to have the relationship.
Great answer,
I don't
Jack.
think that it's
You
one
know what,
person
Jack?
or the other.
Yeah. It's a good answer.
Great. Jack, I think, answered that
I like
perfectly.
that.
Jack, with peace and love, your ego has gotten way too big.
Keep telling you that all
I've
the time.
actually seen a few of those. I'm not going to lie.
Jack ego stuff?
Yeah. Now, obviously, they're still the minority, but
I definitely think I'm confident.
I just think that you come across on the camera more than before.
Really?
Like, I feel like before you were kind of still learning and kind of in your shell.
I think I was shy.
I missed the wide-eyed Jack. Like everything was like,
oh my
yeah, where you saw
gosh.
Christine's ring and you're like, whoa, like I missed that. Those are like just the innocent, the
sorry.
pureness.
Now he's got a
It's
Rolex.
Like, yeah, now you
He's
got
like,
Wait, he forced me to get the Rolex.
Oh, sorry, I forced you to buy a Rolex at a really good deal
It was a good deal. Yeah.
from Federico Talks Watches.
link down below in the description, or not, just search it in YouTube.
Just search it, Federico Talks Watches.
We got someone that pledged to our Patreon
No.
during this episode.
No way.
Wait, just now?
Yeah, literally 30 minutes ago.
Message
Are you
them and
serious?
see if we can get
It's
their number.
Matan Asulin. He says, I watch a lot of YouTube. I never thought I'd make a Patreon for anyone. Like, why I can watch for free. Well,
Thank you, man. Yeah.
but I love your show and the guests you bring on. You guys are the best. Keep it up.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Well, Matan, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We could be giving plugs out.
Yeah.
We got another one we have to call right now.
Oh,
so okay,
true.
so let me explain it. This is a big deal. We put up a $500 a month option on Patreon, and we thought we'd put this up there, and then we'd all host an event twice a year in Las Vegas where we could have everyone together and just hang out. Dinners on us, drinks on us, or whatever. The festivities are on us, but we'd come for one night, have a great time 2 times a year, $500 a month. But a lot of that we just reinvest back into the night. So we'd have 2 crazy times a year. It's just a good time. But we got someone who signed up on that, and we got another person that I think we should call right now.
Graham likes the idea
Yeah.
of whenever people sign up for that, we give them a call.
If you do that, it's going to get to a point where we can't call everybody.
No, certainly
So
not.
you know what? We'll
It's
do
not,
it.
yeah, it's not promised, but
but it's a maybe.
But
it's a maybe.
100% hit
But
rate.
as of now, let's call him. Who is this?
Okay, so this is Inam Khan.
I'm always curious. Like who?
And also shout out to Inam Khan and Rick Barkley. You guys paid the VIP Patreon tier, so you get a verbal shout out every episode.
Woo!
You guys
Thank
helped
you
make
guys.
this thing possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Graham. It's Jack and Alex calling you on the Iced Coffee Hour. I wanted to call you and thank you so much for the joining the Patreon. We put that up there, just not having any idea what to expect on this. And we are so happy to have you join. We'll let you know when the Las Vegas event is going to be. But what made you do it? I'm curious.
Oh my God. Well, first of all, I'm excited for Las Vegas. Second of all, I guess I got so much value out of your videos over the years. This was one of my ways I felt like I could give back. And also just building a relationship with you guys. I feel like that would just be really good. So I'm definitely excited. Thank you so much. I've seen you guys grow over the years, Jack, especially you. I was watching the first podcast the other day, and I was like, yo, Jack is so different now.
Oh, that's
Big
fine.
confidence boost. Good job, guys. You guys are doing great work.
Thank you. Now, quick question for you. Do you think Jack should get a haircut?
I actually just voted on his Instagram. I was one of the few guys that said no, but
Oh, no.
Thank you,
he said
Inam.
one of the few.
One of the few.
Don't ruin it. But
Don't look
yeah,
yet.
don't look yet.
Don't look yet.
But we got a sneak
Wow.
peek.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, anyway, man, thank you so much. I really appreciate anything you need. Just reach out, and you're cool if we include this on the podcast.
yeah, of course, man. Thanks, and thanks for reaching out. Oh my God, I'm like so starstruck right now. I didn't sound too nervous, but thank you.
Absolutely. So thank you so much. This will air in a few days, and anything you want to shout out?
Oh yeah, I want to shout out my YouTube channel, and I'm on investing. And I just wanted to say I love you, Mom.
There we go. All right. Well, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Good luck on the olive hunt.
All these people are so nice.
That's-
Rick,
we're gonna
Ann,
be-
I'm excited to meet them in
Yeah.
person. This is cool.
So anyway, guys, if you are interested as well, the link is down below in the description. We don't know how many people we're gonna get, but I'd like to call
Yeah.
people. I think it's fun, and it's good to put a voice behind the name as well. And we need to end this with you looking on Instagram to determine whether or not you're getting a haircut.
Let's see if people want me to get a haircut.
You know what? We should be leaving this up to the Patreon members. It's like that's a Patreon
That's
exclusive.
so
Like decide when Jack gets a haircut, and they decide as a community.
Each tier has like a number of votes.
Yes.
That's so funny.
Yes.
What's the percentage?
Wow. 60-40.
Yeah, that's not as drastic as I had.
Correct.
Well, how many
57-43.
So I think the majority has said you need a haircut, but not a drastic haircut,
So
just enough for a change.
a trim.
Yeah, just a trim.
Well, thank you guys
Cool.
so much for voting. And if you guys want to vote on more things where I could change my own physical appearance,
Follow me
check
on
out my Instagram
Hey.
at JLSSELBY.
Yeah, make sure to also get a free stock down below in the description when you sign up for public using the code GRAM. And you can also add Alex on Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you to our VIP Patreon members.
Yeah.
And
until next time.
until next time.
Cool.